Okay, so this is Rachel. You guys have maybe already seen the little photo album book that she showed us how she made her lovely van that she now lives in. This was her car. She had a regular van with seats in it, and she completely customized it all herself over a 4-month period. So she's going to tell us a little bit about her van. So you're sitting on your bed, right? Your sofa?
This is the sofa during the daytime. It's where I can lay down and read or eat my meals, my table.
So your table sticks into the ground.
Yeah, it just comes out. And
Yeah.
it can move from there to a hole back here. So when I'm watching movies at night, I put the computer here so I can lay in bed and watch movies.
Okay.
And then at night, when I want it out of the way so I can make the bed out, it just comes apart and it stores right here in the back. Out of the way, tucked away, waiting for morning, and then the bed will slide out to a full twin bed's width, although it's not as long, but it's long enough for me.
Okay.
So the bed slides out, and I've got a comfortable place to sleep.
And you had those, how much did it cost you to get those cushions made?
The cushions, to have them, it was $100 for the foam rubber itself. And then I had a custom upholstery maker do the cushion covers, and that was another $100 there. So I've got $200 in the cushions themselves.
Nice, but they fit perfectly.
They fit perfectly.
And so then you have a refrigerator here?
I've got a 110-volt refrigerator. I wanted to get a 12-volt because it's so much more efficient, and I would not be required to have 110 electricity in the van. But they're outrageously expensive, $700–800 for a fridge this size.
Oh my God.
So this is Walmart special, and it does run on house electricity.
And so how do you provide electricity yourself when you're not plugged in?
I have 3 ways to do it. Well, first of all, this little thing right here. Can you see that?
Yes.
That is the inverter. So it takes 12-volt DC power from the batteries, which are right beside you.
So your batteries are right here
2
between
huge storage batteries underneath this box, the biggest I can buy. So they generate the 12-volt electricity that this then converts into 110, which powers the fridge, my fans, my makeup mirror. What else is 110? Oh, my outside lights that I use, you know, like for ambiance lights, my rope lights.
Oh,
So I do have 110. I put in 7 different 110 outlets. There's 3 over there, and 1 underneath me, and 1 in the back, and 1
so you can
behind
also
it.
just plug things in, like plug in your laptop and
You
stuff.
can just plug in your laptop.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you said you also have DC plug-ins.
I have 6 12-volt outlets, like what you would use for phone chargers. There's 1 there. I've got 2 down there that I run my little vacuum cleaner off from.
Okay.
Where are others? Oh, I've got 1 behind me in case I ever bought a 12-volt. They make 12-volt electric blankets.
Oh, smart.
So I thought, well, I may want an electric blanket, and I don't really want to use it on 110. I'll use it on 12 volts. So I put an outlet underneath the back behind the bed here.
Nice. Well, how much? So you have a huge inverter, though. It's like a 3,000
It
watt.
is 3,000 peak, but it's steady output of 2,000.
How much did that cost? That's expensive.
Surprisingly enough, there's 2 kinds. There's pure sine wave, and those are super expensive, Or there's modified sound wave, sine wave, and I bought the modified, and it works just fine.
How much
and
was
I've got less than $200 in it.
Oh, really?
Less than $200. I bought it at Harbor Freight. There's a plug for somebody.
Oh, okay, great. And
But I found out that the literature says that you need pure sine wave to run things like electronics and printers and computers. My computer runs just fine off of this electricity generated by the modified sine wave.
nice. And so you said when you're not plugged in, you'll run your generator how much
Yes.
each day? Like,
I have a 1,000-watt little tiny Yamaha. You can get a picture outside of that. So if I'm not plugged in, I'm plugged in right now to regular RV current stuff. So I've got my battery charger running right now. It's underneath the seat. It's currently charging, topping off my big 12 volts. So if I'm not plugged into the house current, I can plug the van into the generator, and it works just like what you'd be plugged into your garage.
okay. But then I mean, you're off grid a lot. You're
Yes.
rarely parked.
I'm rarely parked. Matter of fact, it's the exception. So if I'm not driving, I can also charge these big batteries if I drive. The
Yeah.
alternator will do that. But if
But
I'm
when
going
you're
to be,
camping out in Colorado for a week at a time, you'll run your
I run a
generator
generator.
like 5 or 6 hours a day, you
About
said?
5 hours, 6 hours a day. I do it a little bit in the morning and then again in the evening. So I go into evening time. I'm kind of topped off with my 12-volt charge. And then that lasts me about, 14 hours, 12 to 14 hours. And that's running my refrigerator nonstop. And if it's hot out, I'll leave a fan on at night for some ventilation. And it works just fine.
And then how much gas? It's a gas generator?
It's a little gas generator, and it runs about maybe a half to 3/4 of a gallon in a full day.
So like $1.50 a day?
Maybe $1.50 a day.
And then
Maybe.
how much most people who say they want to hit the road say they can't afford it. They can't leave their job and house because they can't afford it. Was that a problem for you? Or?
I tracked my expenses for 4 complete months. And that was van gas, all of my food, all of my entertainment.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that may be. Total expenses, and I averaged over the 4 months about $28 a day.
$28 a day. So that's everything you need to live.
Everything, and I clocked about maybe 4,000 miles on the van in that time.
4,000 miles.
So the key to making that work is not have to pay for camping at night.
Okay, and so where do you camp?
This place costs $20.
Yeah.
Some cost $30 a night. And if you're going to do that for 30 nights out of a month, you're not going to make it on $28 a day.
Yeah. So where do you camp then?
I go to BLM ground, Bureau of Land Management, and there's maps everywhere of every state that has BLM ground, and you can stay there for 14 days free.
Do you feel safe out there, or do you feel frightened?
I do. It's dark.
Were you scared at first, or were you ever afraid?
It's a little bit nervous. To go out at night in the middle of nowhere with nobody around is kind of spooky at first. Your imagination goes a little bit crazy, but that's part of why we do what we do, is to face those kind of fears and learn to conquer them.
And so
builders.
You're not as afraid now as you were when you started out?
No.
But you were afraid in the beginning, because I think some people think that people like you were just braver than the rest of us.
Well, no, I'm not braver than the rest of anybody else, but I had my concerns. One of them was loneliness. What am I going to do when it gets dark in this van? It gets dark at 7 o'clock, and what am I going to do for 4 hours until it's time to go to bed? Well, it turns out I have to make myself go to bed about 12 o'clock.
Oh, really?
I write and I read, and there's so many things just to do.
Is there anything that was really unexpected with how your lifestyle is on the road compared to what you thought, or?
Yes, I actually learned to enjoy this. I love the freedom. I love the spontaneity of it. To be able to say, you know what, I like it here. I think I'm going to stay another day. Or, ooh, the wind is just too strong. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Or, wow, it was cold last night. I'm going to go lower. So that freedom factor is it's wonderful.
And so is there any advice you'd give to women who are thinking about doing this or feeling like?
Do your homework. Get prepared. Know what you can do. Know what your limitations are. That's important. That's most important, maybe. And then just start finding a way, thinking about, contact people, ask questions, and then just go do it. Maybe a little bit at a time. I just jumped off the edge of the cliff. I just loaded up the van. I had never taken it out on the road before. It was untested. But I was so hot and so miserable in Texas, I had to run for it. So I loaded it up and I streaked across Texas, and I got to the mountains as quickly as I could to find out that it's gorgeous. I love it. I simply love it. I wished I had a taller ceiling, but
that's the one thing.
We have what we got, and so this is the best I could do with what I had to work with. It's a 1992 Chevrolet van, extended van, and it was a conversion. So this fancy stuff and the wood up here was here, but everything else is.
And then you said, how much do you think the materials were for converting it?
Well, I think I've probably got somewhere around $2,800 to maybe $3,000 in everything. Okay. Total electric, the generator, the batteries, the fridge, the microwave, the stove, everything up on top of the van, maybe $3,000.
Nice. All right, well, thank you so much.